Hello, great students. I'm Abiola, your exam KP English teacher. Today, we're going to totally master those reading comprehension questions you'll be facing in your exams. You know, I get it. Comprehension can feel really tough sometimes, but I promise you, by the end of our time together today, you'll have a clear, step-by-step method to understand any passage and answer those questions with total confidence. So, here's the plan. We're going to build your skills logically, starting with the SS1 basics and going all the way up to exam level mastery. We'll practice with real past questions and finish up with a toolkit you can literally take with you into the exam hall. All right, let's dive right in. We're starting with the absolute foundation, the most important skill for all comprehension, finding the main idea. And guess what? It's almost always hiding in plain sight in what we call the topic sentence. I want you to think of the topic sentence like a key. It's the one thing that unlocks the meaning of the entire paragraph. It gives you the main point, the gist of it all. So, your first mission always is to find that sentence. Okay, now here's a critical exam strategy for you. Listen close. The examiners, they know you're short on time. So most of the time, they place that topic sentence right at the beginning, in the first or second line. So always check there first. Seriously, it's a huge time saver. The rest of the sentences, they're usually just examples or details backing it up. All right, ready to level up? Let's move on and see how this all builds together. This is where you go from just reading the words to thinking like an expert by finding what we call implied meaning. So, what is implied meaning? It's all about understanding what the writer is suggesting, even when they don't say it directly. You've got to be a bit of a detective, using clues from the text and your own logic to fill in the gaps. Let me tell you, mastering this skill is how you get those top marks on inference questions. And to find these hidden meanings, you really do have to become a detective. And here's a massive clue for you. Keep your eyes peeled for signal phrases like, "this suggests that," or "we can deduce that." When you see those, it's like the writer is giving you a direct hint, pointing you straight to that unstated meaning. They're absolute gold mines for answering these types of questions for sure. Okay, now we're at the mastery level. This is where I teach my students the skills that really separate a good score from a truly great one. We're talking about critical evaluation and, so important for exams, paraphrasing for summary questions. This three-step process right here, this is your secret weapon for summary questions. Why? Because it forces you to use your own words, and that is exactly what the examiners are looking for. It proves you didn't just copy the text. It proves you actually understood it on a deeper level. All right, so we've talked the talk, but results are what really matter, right? So let's walk the walk. Let's apply these skills to real past exam questions right now. First up, let's talk about WAEC. Now, a huge part of this exam is free response. That means you're writing the answers yourself, not just picking A, B, or C. They really want to see how you think and how deeply you understand a text. So let's check out an example. Okay, so you're in the exam and you see a question like this. Find a synonym for hostile. Now, the trap here is to just rack your brain for a dictionary definition. But the real key, the secret, is to look at how the sentence is using the word. Context is absolutely everything. So here's the game plan. Always let the context guide you. The phrase exhibits an attitude tells us we're talking about behavior. And the sentence doesn't sound very happy, does it? So right away, we know we're hunting for a word with a negative vibe. And boom, there you go. Words like unfriendly, uncooperative, or even wicked fit perfectly in that sentence. They all capture that negative, kind of confrontational feeling. That's 1 point in the bag for you. All right, next up is another WIEC classic, literary devices. You see a sentence just like this one on the exam. What's your first move? How do you break it down super quick and get the right answer without wasting time? Okay, here's the secret. Look for something that isn't human doing something that is human. That's your big flashing signal. Clouds can't actually feel angry and they don't race like a person does. The second you spot that, you've found the answer. You got it. The answer is personification. Okay, let's tackle one more wire question type, the one I know often tricks students up. I'm talking about grammar. All right, grammar. I know. Seeing a question like this can make your brain just freeze. But listen, don't panic. It's really just a simple two-step puzzle. All you have to do is name the part and then say what its job is in the sentence. That's it. So let's break this down. First, what kind of phrase are we looking at? Find the most important word in there. In this case, it's home, which is a noun. So that makes the whole thing a noun phrase. See? Simple. Second, what's its job? Just ask yourself a question. What is a great asset? A happy home is. So that makes it the subject of this sentence. And there it is. By breaking the question into these small, easy to manage steps, even complicated grammar becomes simple. You can totally solve this systematically and with confidence. All right, time to completely switch gears and talk about JAMP. This is a different game, people. It's all multiple choice, which means our strategy has to change completely. Forget about long explanations. This is all about speed, accuracy, and the beautiful art of elimination. Now, take a look at this. All of these options look pretty good, don't they? Culture, civilization, they all seem related to society. Well, this is a classic jam trap. It's not just about knowing the words, it's about knowing the most precise word for the job. So how do we escape this trap? We eliminate. Culture and civilization are these huge, massive ideas. A family is just one tiny piece of them. But socialization, that's the specific word for learning society's rules, which is something that starts right at home. It's the perfect fit. And that's exactly why the correct answer is A. For JAMB, precision is absolutely everything. Let's do another one just to really hammer this idea home. Okay, one more jam question. Find the word nearest in meaning to exploitation. Just pause for a second here and think, what's your strategy going to be? Once again, you use the context. The term child labor has a very negative feel about it, right? So words like employment and engagement are neutral. They just don't fit the tone. Punishment is negative, yeah, but it's not quite the right meaning. Exploitation means using someone unfairly, which is a very clear form of abuse. That's our answer. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about how to master NECO. Now, this one is a lot like WIEC. It's all about deep analysis and interpretation. NECO really wants to see if you can read between the lines and think critically about what you are reading. This right here is a classic NECO style question. They want to see if you can spot the difference between a hard, verifiable fact and what is simply someone's personal belief. It's a real test of your critical thinking skills. So here's the simple test. Just ask yourself, can this statement be proven with facts and data? Dogo's claim that school corrupts girls, well, that's just his personal viewpoint. You can't prove it's universally true because, well, it isn't. And that's what makes it an opinion. And that is the perfect way to analyze it. It's an opinion rooted in the character's own worldview, not an objective fact. This is the kind of deep critical reading that NECO is looking for. Wow, okay, we have covered so much ground, so let's just pause for a second and boil it all down. What are the absolute key things you need to remember when you walk into that exam hall? Let's recap. Here's the main thing I want you to remember. You need two different mindsets. For WIEC and NECO, you need to be a detective. Slow down, look for the clues, and analyze everything really deeply. But for JAMB, you need to be a sprinter. Focus on speed,
precision, and getting to that finish line fast by knocking out the wrong answers. Okay, so you've got the strategies now, but that's only half the battle. Knowing the plan is one thing, but actually executing it under pressure is something else entirely. The only way to build that real solid exam confidence is through practice, practice, practice. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote comes directly from the official guide we've been using today. It's that consistent practice that builds your skill, improves your speed, and gives you that unshakable confidence you need to walk into that exam hall and absolutely smash it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit www.examkp.com for more practice questions. That's it for today. Great job following along. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more easy-to-understand lessons. And hey, want to practice more questions and get step-by-step solutions? Visit examkp.com right now and keep learning smarter.